All right. How's everyone's day going? Lower that just a little bit, but still keep it on just for now. Just for now. Hope everyone's day's going well. Oh, there we go. Not too bad. All right. Yeah, that should be good. All right. How's everyone's day going? Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Or I guess, depending on where you are, Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a nice day, a nice night, wherever you may be. So far, the start of this week has been a lot better than last week. Last week was a little rough. I won't go over it again, but it was a little rough. But we're going to start this week out strong. We have a lot of streams this week planned, and we're going to get to them. Today, obviously, is going to be Fate Day, our Fate Monday. Tomorrow will be the official beginning of real gaming streams. No offense to this Fate stream, but it is pretty much click and read. So we will, for real this time, I've tested it out. Yakuza works on OBS. It runs, no issues. So far. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. No issues. So, tomorrow, around the scheduled time, which is going to be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you look it up for your time zones. It will be around that time when we'll start the stream. We'll go for like first stream 2 hours. See how it plays. Hopefully, again, there will not be any major bugs. But, you know, something will probably happen. But we'll power through. I'm very excited. I have never actually played the Yakuza series or I think it's like Kami something. Like the old franchise as a whole. I have not played it before, so I am very, very excited to see how it is as a gameplay experience, but also I hear it's a very funny and interesting story arc, so excited. And I'm sure someone will probably be, why'd you start with 0? Because it was the cheapest on Steam. That's probably why. If I'm just gonna be honest with you, yeah. So, also it works. So why wouldn't I play it? But yeah, so we have that Tuesday, Thursday. We're back again with more JoJo's as normal time. This time we shouldn't have any mic issues, so we'll start actually on time. So we'll go for our normal length. Last week was an exception. We only did that prolonged stream only because of all the issues we had with tech-related problems and also scheduling problems. So that's why we went just a little bit extra with our time. But we'll probably just stick to like 5 chapters this week. Where we left off, it was pretty good. Pretty good. One Piece is back this week. I already checked up. Apparently next week as well, we will not have a break. We will be back to another chapter. So probably maybe after next week, we will be on break. Then we'll probably pick up with more either Bug Ego or I might start another manga, on our backlog that I haven't gotten to in a while. So, still planning. But every break, I think right now, I'm going to schedule it for a catch-up stream for another manga. So, recently, we just did on Saturday night. The weekend blurred together. On Saturday night, it was a quick stream, late stream, but we started getting back into Bug Ego. It was really good. It was really funny, really weird. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I knew it was wild from my memory from the first 2 chapters, but I just did not understand just how far one sensei is going to just take this series to absurdity. But at the same time, there was actual depth with characters and also a lot of, once again, graphic imagery. I'm like, okay, I'm hooked. So Bug Ego's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it doesn't get canceled. It's, I believe, still only 8 chapters in, so it's kind of still in that fresh period. I don't want to. I hope people go out and support it. You who likes One Punch Man or Mob Psycho, go support it. Go watch it. Go read it, and maybe soon enough, it might get an actual anime. I mean, if Kagurabachi, which apparently is going to get an anime soon, you know, I don't know how many chapters are out, but I remember, like, I felt like it was, like, last year or 2 years ago, Kagurabachi dropped, and now all of a sudden it gets in an anime. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, with enough support, with enough gusto, we can get Bug Ego an anime. But yeah, so that's our schedule for the week. I'm still making the schedule. I'm actually a little tidbit. I'm waiting for an artist to work on something. They should be done soonish. But maybe once that's done, I'm going to incorporate it to the actual schedule format. Have a little bit of nice texture to it, a little bit of gloss. Actually looks pretty decent. So when that's done, I'm going to actually have it incorporate on the schedule, and then it will be up. And that will just be our schedule from now on. Scheduling-wise, I'll probably post it always either late Sunday or early Monday morning for what we're going to be doing throughout the week. Again, I haven't decided on, like, a 4th day of the stream. It will probably most likely, if anything, going in the future, probably Sunday nights. It will be Sunday nights. It will be night too. Like, this is going to be a late hour stream, so I don't know how that works for certain people and their viewing hours. Just for right now, that's what is going to probably work best for me. So I do apologize. But that's most likely going to be our 4th day. But I still need to get things in the works for that, and I want to make sure I have obligations taken care of before I commit to anything. So I hope everyone is packing their patience, and I really do appreciate that. Things will be moving a lot more quicker and hopefully a lot smoother than it has been the last week or so on the transition coming back. So again, I appreciate everyone's due diligence and keeping up with the channel and the interest. It really does a lot for me at starting out right now. So yeah. But all right, enough about my rambling. Before we get into the stream, I just want to see something. I might fuck up, but no. Okay. Okay. I saw a trick someone did, but I don't think it's gonna work, unfortunately. Someone showed me a trick on how to maybe get the YouTube chat up. I don't think it's gonna work, though, unfortunately. Oh, wait, that's wrong theme. I guess I don't need the music right now. Let me see. I just want to see if I can get it up, because I've tried other methods. It just won't work. Let me see. Let me see. Quick little buffer. Let me see. No, I don't think it's going to work. Damn. Alright. I thought it would work. But I don't... it doesn't seem to be working. Let me see. Let me try one last thing. No, I don't think it is. Damn. Well, that's sad. Alright, I'm still trying to get our chat to work, but it looks like it may not be working. One of these days, I'm going to figure it out. And then I'm going to look back and be like, wow, it took me that long? Very sad. Very sad. But it does not look like it will work. No, not putting in. Wow. No, it won't do that either. Okay, well, I will try that later. For right now, let's get into the game. So again, we are back with Fate Stay Night. just make sure that we're loading. Bingo, baby. All right. So, yeah, last time we left off, if I remember correctly, we're going through Shiro's perspective. We actually finally made it through the prologue. I was very shocked that that's how long it took. But, yeah, so we're starting now, getting through Shiro's stuff. Best girl, Taiga, finally made her appearance. Let's go. We met a little bit with Sakura through Shiro's perspective, getting her relationship started. His interesting dynamic between Shinji, class representative, the monk dude, that's very cool. Getting his point of view when he met Rin Tosaka. So, very much what I remember going through the anime, through Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Field. The only difference, again, through the gameplay on this playthrough, we will be going through the Fate route. At least that is the hope. We're trying to get the Fate route as best as possible. In the event that I feel like I am screwing up, I am save scumming, and I'm going to be proudly admitting to that. I have a guide. I will not use it unless I feel I have to. Because, again, I've already watched Unlimited Blade Work. I've already did Heaven's Field. I don't really want to go through their visual novel depiction. I'm sure there's stuff that's different in them, but that will be for another day. Maybe in the future we'll come back and we'll do the Unlimited Blade Work, and then we'll do the Heaven's Field visual novel, perspective. But really, I'm just trying to get the Fate route, because that's the route I know least about or have the least experience on. And I don't really want to watch the anime because I hear it's not kept up well over the years. So this was the best course of action, and I figured this was also going to be an interesting way of experiencing Fate. So, again, have patience as we're playing through this. I'm going to do my best to get to the Fate route no matter what. So, just wanted to throw that out there. But alright. I've gabbed enough. Let's continue. Alright, Fate Stay Night 2. One day. Here we go. I awaken into the darkness. Oh, fuck, that's right. The auto skip. No. I guess I'm not much for dreaming unless something big happens. I have always the same dream anyway. I've always envisioned a sword. I don't know if I've... This is a good sign. I don't remember this part into the anime's adaptation of this, where he dreams... It looks like Excalibur, so I assume he's having a prolific dream about him meeting Saber. Let me just see, actually. Yeah, I think it's the same shape and stuff. I always envision a sword. I have no idea why, but that's the only thing that pops into my head. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Perhaps this is perhaps this is what defines me as well. Perhaps this is what defines me as, well, me, as Shiro Emiya. I don't have dreams of my own. The only things on my mind while I sleep are what others have taught me long ago. For example, on how to become mage, even if I am not fully fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they're in. Oh yeah, that does remind me. So, last time, I was trying to figure out what is the dichotomy between magician and mage, because we got Rin's explanative narrative saying that a mage is this, a magician is one thing. And then we know Shiro is not fully taught in the ways of mage, so he is starting off with not a lot of magic, or a lot of mana, because he doesn't have the circuits built into him because of a family crest that he doesn't have. Well, on top of that, depressed dude. forget his name every time, but from Fate Zero, he didn't teach him anything essential before he died, so he has no real knowledge. So I'm trying to figure out if it's Rin and Shiro who are trying to depart the knowledge between a mage and magician, but are both wrong, or someone is not aware of the information, or is it the game being inconsistent, or the story overall that's like, you said a mage was one thing, but a magician is another thing, and this about magic versus true magic and magecraft, which is another thing. It's like, I'm trying to make sure when I go through this, I'm like putting all this stuff together, because I might have a chat about Fate after this series is done. You know, just to be like, hey, I went through this, what are my overall thoughts? Because I do have Fate outside of this game. I play, you know, FGO, I've watched all the anime adaptations, I played some other games here and there. But I know people really like to defend a lot of the lore elements, like holier than thou kind of style. But like, hey, if it trips over its own information, I want to call a spade, you know what I mean? Anyway. Even though I'm not a full-fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they are in. Oh my god, I did it again. Put simply, a mage is an irregular, an outcast from society. But even outcasts need to band together to survive. My old man told me there is a society of mages called Mages Association. He also told me that I shouldn't ever get involved with them. Mage Association is said to conceal the existence of magecraft and manage mages. Mages Association watches over mages and makes sure their magecraft doesn't affect society. But strange thing is that they don't really prohibit mages from abusing magecraft either. So don't make a scene, but you do you. As we saw that one dude, I don't think he was a mage. Well, yeah, he got oh my god, John d'Arc's you know, crazy believer, the zealot, Giles. So I guess he was technically a mage, but I don't know if he was a part of the Mage Association. According to Kieritsugu, the Mages Association is only interested in concealing mystics. Right. Sorry. There's magecraft, mystic, magic, and then true magic. Yes. Oh my god, so much lore. Even if, say, a mage were to carry out an experiment that sacrificed, let's say, a lot of citizens, the association wouldn't punish them. Oh shit. Their priorities are expressly in preventing the public knowledge from becoming aware of magecraft, which does not mean magecraft is completely banned. Honestly, anything goes along as the truth doesn't come out. At least that seems to be how that insane bunch conducts themselves. Whatever it is, the Mage Association's surveillance is absolute. Typical magecraft research sacrifices the lives of ordinary humans, in which case risk revealing the extension of magecraft to the world. As such, Mage Association does not permit research that would harm society in the long run, I guess. Ultimately, mages conduct their research in privacy of their homes while the world is none the wiser. So mages sometimes go into hiding to escape the association's scrutiny and oversight. So there may be some mages living in this town, and I just don't know it. I also hear Fuyuki is a spiritual hotspot of sorts. That probably means that there's some prestigious mage with a sordid history living here. Oh, little did you know. They are called second owners, elite mages of the association entrusted to watch over territory. Other mages who live in the same area must visit these second owners first to get permission to build their workshop. My old man was an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the consent of Fuyuki's second owner. So I remember that there is the Heimbergs, Ilya, and her family. Her family, which I don't know if they're real people because they're like homunculi and golems, but her prestigious family. Then you have the Tosakas, and then the Mott Toys, the bug guys. So are there technically 3 second owners? Because I also don't think they covered this much in the anime adaptation. Curious. By the way, hydrate. So in a way, our family is a bunch of trespassers living in a house without permission from the landlord. Except the landlord's the entire lord of the land. The surrounding land. Almost like a daimyo or a regional lord. Which means the second owner doesn't know that Kiritsugu Emiya was a mage. So I tend to feel that our family status as a mage is quite unclear. You would think because you would have been ousted by now. But then my old man, the bona fide mage, died. Even though I am his disciple and son, I don't know a thing about the Mage Association and no real knowledge about being a mage. I mean, I feel like you knew at least the guidelines of how they operate. That's kind of big. I have a feeling the association would want to dispose of someone like me, but they haven't made any sort of move. Yeah, again, probably because they have little of information on you, and you also haven't broke the rules so far outside of just living here. Apparently, the Mage Association doesn't have many eyes in Japan. Oh, that's convenient. So that's probably why I haven't been found out yet. What? Are there like less mages in Japan, I wonder? But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down either. The eyes of the Mage Association are said to be everywhere. And if someone commits a crime using magecraft, the church, Herrick Hunter, will make their own move. Right. I also remember that in Zero, the church is in line with the Mage Association, but they are not technically one and the same. They kind of have a dual system that incorporates one another. Using magecraft, however half-assed you may be at it, makes you enemies. So with all that in mind, I honestly just want to study being a mage on my own. Yeah, keep a low profile. I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour in through the windows. Looks like the sun just now is coming up. It's still dark out. I get up, trying not to let the morning cold discourage me, and quickly fold up my futon. I feel that every time in morning too, at least when it's cold too. It is 5:30. I've always been an early riser no matter how late I go to bed. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. I think he has a flower on his pillow. I'll let Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. I cook rice and make miso soup. Yesterday, the soup had daikon, radish, and carrots. So make an onion and potato miso soup today. I make the egg omelet and use the leftover kanoyako to simmer in bonito flakes. For all my JJK fans out there. I make the incision into the savory fish, which will be the main dish. Sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is broil it. but that can wait until last minute.
よし、こんなんでいいか。
Okay, that will do. It's almost 6. I'll finish earlier than expected, so I have some time on my hand. So what should I do with this extra amount of time? Oh, is this a decision moment?
そうだ
Oh,
な。
it's not.
これだけ時間があれば一汗流せるか。
Morning exercise is a daily routine, so I might as well do some light workout. True. There's a respectable dojo built in the Emiya household. It was added as a sort of afterthought when the house was constructed, which is why the dojo wasn't built for a specific purpose.
ま、藤姉が好き勝手使ってるけどな。
Let her use it. Fujine apparently used this place as her playground even before I came into the house. But then I became Kiritsuku's disciple and started using this place more often. Fujine hated me for that for a while.
さて。
There's only one thing I do here. Beat it. I'm kidding. Training to be a mage means I cannot neglect training my body. Well, maybe it wasn't. One of the conditions of being a mage is maintaining yourself at your physical peak. When Kiritsugu was still alive, he and I sparred often. Well, more that he just kicked my ass every time. I mean, you were 8? Yeah? So I never really learned how to win myself. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and being an opponent and how to conduct myself in a situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've gotten yourself into a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning magecraft means that there is a risk of perishing on your own, as well as the risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. Yeah, Mage Society just seems like a absolute Debbie Downer. Just like, oh yeah, you can't expose yourself. If you do, you either have to kill those that find out, or you have to leave, or the Mage Association will find out, they'll find you and kill you, and depending on if you belong to a family, second owners or not, of the area, you'll probably be killed. But at the same time, if you kill a bunch of people, let's say, but you don't expose yourself, it's all good. It's all good. It's like, damn, in Fate, it's like, yo, the mages honestly are kind of assholes. They're kind of assholes to each other and everyone around them. I would not want to be a mage. I'm good. That's why Kiritsugu wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminding me of that lesson is long gone. So only the thing I can do alone is some simple exercises. Stretching, push-ups, sit-ups. It's no different than what the members of the Kudo Club do in the morning. The only difference is the intensity.
おはようございます先輩。今朝はもう済んでしまいましたか？
ねえ、朝食の支度なら済んでる。あとは食器の支度と魚に火を通すだけ。
あ、それならお手伝いします。食器の支度は任せてください。
Sakura is clearly eager in her reply. Happy little egg. Happy little bug egg. And coming in behind the ever dependable Sakura,
この匂いはシロの卵焼きね。
the real waifu is
今朝は
here.
シロの朝ごはんなんだ。
The game does such a disservice to her, but finally, peak. I smell Shiro's omelet, so he handled breakfast this morning. Fujine casually heads to the table.
まあ、あれは放っておいて。
I need to grill the prepared fish.
さくら、皿は真ん中のやつ使ってくれ。その方がうまく見えるから。
この表面がブツブツのですか？
Yeah, those are the classy plates.
そうそれ。焼き物は皿にも気を配らないと手抜かりになるからな。で、大根はもう吸ってあるから。
Well, if Food Wars and other cooking series have taught me anything, the display is important for food. Sakura reaches far to take out the plates. As she reached out, I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. We all know who that's from.
さくら、ちょっと待った。
はい。何ですか、先輩？
Oh, you know what it is.
その手首のあざ、なんだ？
She averts her eyes away, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes me her reaction makes me her reaction makes how she got the bruise clear. There we go.
またシンジか。あいつ、妹に手をあげるなんて何考えてやがる。
I mean, I believe it. I believe it.
違います、先輩。これは転んでぶつけちゃったんです。ほら、私鈍いでしょ？
Don't cover for him.
だからよく転んで怪我ばっかりしてるんです。
バカ、転んだぐらいでそんなあざがつくか。信じたやつ、どうやらまだ殴られ足りないみたいだな。
ダメです、先輩。これ本当に兄さんは関係ないんです。私が一人で怪我をしただけなんですから、先輩に怒ってもらう資格なんてありません。
Sakura falls silent. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. It's no use saying anything to her now.
わかった。さくらがそう言うんならそういうことにしておく。
はい。ごめんなさい、先輩。
You are fine. You don't need to apologize. You're the one who has a bruise on
だから
yourself.
どうしてそこでさくらが謝るんだ。悪いのはシンジだろう。
The moment I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. It can only mean he is the cause of the bruise on her arm. Shinji Matoi has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and again, I see Sakura injured, and she always made excuses when I asked what happened. When I asked Shinji about it, he revealed to my shock that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. I asked why. He told me it was because she done something he didn't like. I got pretty pissed off, so I did to Shinji what he had done to Sakura. We haven't been on great terms since then. I mean, you called him in class an okay person. I'm like, why the fuck you say that?
先輩、兄さんとは仲直りしてくれましたか？
Fuck no. That asshole needs to come to me.
ああ、したよ。別に初めから喧嘩なんてしてないから仲直りも何もないけどな。
Yeah, there wasn't a fight. It was, I punched him and he sat the fuck down.
先輩にとってはそうでしょうけど、兄さんにとっては喧嘩をしたことになるんです。だから気をつけてください。
keep that in mind. What Sakura says strikes me as odd.
気をつけろってシンジが
Of him? Why? He's a friendly butterfly. All he does is become a lurch to every woman that he comes across and then beats his sister. Surely I have nothing to worry about.
はい兄さん先輩を目の敵にしてるって聞きました。その先輩が退部するようになったのも兄さんのせいだって。
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he did a coup d'etat, but
それは違う
Shinji,
部活を辞めたの
whatever.
はシンジとは関係ない。いやそりゃ多少はあったかもしれないけどそんなのはさくらが気に病むことじゃないぞ。確かにシンジの言う通りちょっと見苦しいからなこれは。
I point at my left shoulder. There's a little scar there. It happened about a year and a half ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. I ended up just with a broken bone. But I also came away with a burn on my shoulder. After that incident, I quit the Kyudo club. So, outside of his personality and obligations, there actually was an excuse. I also don't think I knew that from other adaptations. Our school's Kyudo club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this expose their left shoulder. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot exposing a scar. And since I was getting busy with my various jobs, I decided to quit the club. I mean, I think that would be more badass and more a sign of your committed role to the club and your endurance through the pain. To each their own.
先輩しつこいようですけど本当にもう弓は引かないんですか？藤村先生も怪我なんて支障はないって言ってるのに。
何を平和な。藤姉は全身骨折しようが支障ないっていうやつだぞさくら。
Aw, she means it in the best way though.
先輩私真面目な話をしているんです。
Oh, don't make Fern angry. Actually, wait. I just realized Shiro has red hair. Sakura has purple. Oh my god. And in a way, Saber is a short magical entity that lives for a very long time, like Frieren. Oh my god. It's just Frieren's story, but with these three. I just realized that. Oh, that's kind of funny. Someone should do an art of that. Make Shiro, Stark, Sakura, Fern, and then Frieren is Saber. Maybe someone has already done that. I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for.
当分は部活をしている余裕はないよ。弓は好きだけど優先するべきことじゃないし、しばらくは間を取ろうと思う。
しばらくってどのくらいですか？
That is the question.
気が向いた頃かな。まあ、さくらが卒業するぐらいまでにはなんとか。その時はよろしくな、さくら。
Yo. Basically, I'm never gonna do it again during school. I pat Sakura's shoulder. Oh, she liked that. She perked up real quick.
私その時をお待ちしています。
She nods so violently, it looks like she might drop the plates. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujine have long since left the house for their morning club activities. I went to the school earlier yesterday, but Issei asked me to, but I leave the house at the usual time today. Oh boy. Here we go. I noticed something strange as I walked down the hill towards the intersection. Really? Oh, I wonder what. Several police cars are parked in front of a house. Something must have happened since a crowd has gathered. There are easily 20 people watching. I'm curious, but the mass of people prevent me from finding out what's happening. I don't have much time, so I should just hurry on to school. Yeah. Japan, you probably can't say, hey, I was just curious because there was like a lot of police at a house. Could have been an incident. I was just curious. Got lost track of time. America, you could probably say that and you probably get away with it. But Japan, it's like, you should have been 10 hours late. You should have been 10 hours early. How dare you? Your education means everything. I make it to school 10 minutes before the first bell. As I cross through the gates with plenty of time as usual.
Yeah, ohayo, Emiya.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, she's cool. She's cool. I run into a familiar student.
なんだ、まだ着替えてないのか、三つり。もうすぐホームルームだぞ。俺に挨拶なんかしてる場合じゃないだろう。
いや、ごもっとも。相変わらず釣れない野郎だね、エミヤは。
She's cool. She's like a more... She's like a tomboy, but less on the bubbly side. I can respect that. Nowadays, you mainly get a tomboy that's more gusto and passionate. And I'm not saying she isn't, but she's very more reserved in her mannerisms. I don't know what's so funny. She laughs heartily, not caring about her surroundings. You need people like that, though. This is Ayako Mitsuri. She's been a classmate of mine since we were first years. She's currently the captain of the Kyudo Club. She's an unbelievable, insightful person, and it was expected that she would be the team's next captain since her first year with them. Mitsururi is a precocious sort, and people have always had high hopes for her, and even leaned on her ever since she was a first year. Then again, she gets mad whenever someone mentions that in front of her, claiming she doesn't look as old as people would think.
ああ、今あんた、よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったかもし。
No, it's compliments, that's all.
そんなものは漏らさない。あくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけだ。それで気を悪くするのは三つりの勝手だが。
お、言うじゃん。いいね。正直に答えるくせに何をどう考えてたかは口にしないんだもの。エミヤ、シンジと違って隙がないな。
Ooh, calling out Shinji. Unlike Shinji, you never left your true self. You never left your true self show. Basically, you're true to who you are. That's a pretty good compliment.
なんでそこにシンジが出てくるんだ。
What doesn't he have to do with everything?
なんでも何も、あんたとシンジって友人じゃない。
Are we though? I mean, we just sit in the same class every now and then, and he like makes fun of me for not being in the archery club, and then also he hits his sister, and I don't like that. I don't, you know, the gap between that and friendship is pretty wide. I wouldn't go that far. You and Shinji are friends. I'm gonna put that in quotes.
シンジの男友達ってあんただけでしょ。
You're his
それ
only
にお
male
忘れ
friend.
でしょうが、 私これでも弓道部の首相なの。うちの問題児と辞めちまった問題児をくっつけるのは自然な流れだと思わない？
Sure.
まあ確かに自然だ。弓道部ってのは関係ないけど、俺とあいつは腐れ縁だからな。
あ、カチンときた。あんたね、弓道部の話になると急に冷たくなるでしょ。いいご身分よね。シンジをほっぽっといて自分はさっさと退場しちゃうんだから。後に残された私とかさくらの気持ちとか少しは考えてくれてもいいんじゃない？
Hey, he was the one pushing him out, bringing out the whole "it's dishonorable to expose a weakness in the sacred art of archery. How dare you, Shiro?" It's like, yeah, it's not me. I didn't bring it up. I was gonna shoot my arrow. Shinji was being the one who was being pushy about it.
シンジのやつ、またなんかやったのか？
Oh, absolutely.
あいつが何もやらない日なんてないけど。まあ、それにしても昨日のはちょっとやりすぎか。
Oh boy.
1年の男子が1人辞めたぐらいだから。
He made a first year guy quit. Why is he vice captain again? Outside of skill, maybe? Mitsuri sighs gravely. Seeing her look so serious is a rare to begin with, but the rest of her story is particularly alarming. Again, this is the guy who openly said, "Yeah, I beat my sister." It's like, I don't know what we are expecting.
なんだよそれ。部員が辞めたってなんで？
シンジのやつが八つ当たりしたのよ。わざわざ女子を集めてね、夢を持ったばかりの子にシャをさせて的中するまで笑い物にしたとか。
I mean, if it was framed in a different way, that is maybe a good practice for a first year if they're like really slacking behind. But nah. He was just doing that to be a dick.
はあ？お前、そんな馬鹿げたことを見過ごしてたってのか？
Right. I mean, you are the team captain. No matter what he thinks in his mind, you definitely need to step up and be like, "Hey, cut that crap out."
見過ごすか？けどさ、首相ってのはいろいろと忙しいんだ。いつも道場にいるわけじゃないってエミヤだって知ってるでしょ？
That's fine, but you gotta sit down with him as captain and let's say, "Hey, that does not fly." If I hear word of that again, you know, I don't know what you can do in this club activity or whatever, report him to Fujine, but like, to say, like, there will be ramifications.
それはそうだが。にしても、何考えてんだ、シンジのやつ。必要以上に厳しく教えることはあっても、素人を見せ物にするようなやつじゃないだろう。
As the years progress, he's getting more and more wicked.
呆れた。エミヤっては本当にあれだ。
あれってなんだ？今お前、よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったか？
あら、私はあくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけさ。それで気を悪くするのはエミヤの勝手だね。
Using my own words. Very nice.
ついさっき聞いたような返答をしやがって。
She's a solid person. She's a solid individual. I do hope we get a little bit more of her story in this route, but also I guess maybe the visual novel as a whole. Because I thought she was kind of cool in Unlimited Blade Works, and then we're done with her. After the incident that will happen later, I imagine. And I feel like in Heaven's Field, she's like not in there at all. Like, maybe within the first movie, she's there for like a couple minutes. But then like the rest of the movie and then like the next two movies, I'm pretty sure she's not in there for like a single scene. So I kind of hope she gets a little bit more spotlight. But we'll see.
いや、それよりシンジはどうしたんだよ。なんだってそんな真似をしたんだ。
聞いた話じゃ、遠坂にこっぴどく振ら
Yeah,
れ
but
た
that's like a regular. That's like a Tuesday for this guy. Getting bent out of shape over that?
遠坂って、あの遠坂か？
Is there any other?
うちの学校にあれ以外の遠坂なんていないでし
Yo,
ょ。
wait. Me and her share the same wavelength. No wonder I like her so much. She's me, but a tomboy. Oh.
2年 A 組の優等生、ミスパーフェクトこと遠坂凛よ。
いや、そんなあだ名は初めて聞いたけど。
But it fits. Yeah, no kidding. It's no surprise Shinji got rejected. Yeah, my guy is coming up with, I was gonna say gusto, but man's coming up like a fuckboy. And yeah, nowadays that don't work. Unless you have no self-confidence in yourself. And knowing Tosaka, she's probably had some pretty harsh insults to go with it.
ともかくシンジのやつは昨日からずっとその調子よ。おかげで私もこんな時間まで道場で目を光らせてたってわけ。
Well, that's good. That's a good first start.
シンジのやつ、変にこらえが効かない時があるからな。三つ釣り、大変だろうけど、
Yeah,
頑張ってくれ。
Gamba day with him.
はいはい。けどね、シンジって懲りないでしょ。また遠坂に声をかけて振られた日には、今度こそ遠坂本人に何かしそうでさ。
Just keep her away then.
いや、いくら信じても振られた相手には近寄らないだろう。あいつそのあたりはちゃんとしてるぞ。
It really depends on how much he wants to lord it over people. Shinji is a glory hog.
けど相手が近寄ってくるんだからしょうがないじゃない。遠坂さ、なんか知らないけどうちの道場をよく見学に来るのよ。エミヤは辞めちゃったから知らないだろうけどね。
That's news to me. Rin Tosaka doesn't participate in club activities because of her family forbids it, or something. She turned down nominations to be a member of the student council, so I've always thought she went straight home after school.
たまにはそれもいいか。あいつもお高く止まってるし、一度ぐらいは痛い目に遭うのもいいかもね。お気の毒様っていうか、ご愁傷様っていうか。
If only this was a normal slice of life, though. Even then, I feel like Shinji might be one of those slice of life characters. If it got too gritty, like it was a gritty slice of life, that like, oh, you rejected me, I'm gonna stalk you, and then I'm gonna stab you until you love me. Like he might turn into like a male yandere or some shit. Mitsuri has a weird way of looking at it. Now that I think about it, they say that Rin Tosaka has a lot of enemies. I wonder if Mitsuri is one of them. More like a frenemy.
おい、三つ釣り。いくらなんでもそれは。
One man's cruel is another man's generous.
あ、そろそろ時間だ。じゃあね、エミヤ。今度私の弓の調子見に来てよ。
I wonder if she has a little thing for Emmy. I mean, and most women in the Fate series, in the beginning, you know, probably always have something. You know, Saber, Tosaka, Sakura. I see fan art of Ryder, so Fujine. So I wouldn't be surprised. Mitsuri hastily runs off.
相変わらずだな、あいつ。
I never mind just how forthright she always is. She keeps it real, just like you. I feel a bit more at ease and head towards the classroom. It's lunchtime. Our school has quite the cafeteria, and most of the students eat lunch there. But there are some old-fashioned students who still bring their own lunches, including myself and the student council president sitting in front of me.
エミヤ、その唐揚げを一つくれないか。俺の弁当には圧倒的に肉分が不足している。
It depends. Back in my day, you had a trade. What you got?
いいけど、なんだってお前の弁当ってそう質素なんだ、一世。いくら寺だからって酒も肉も取らないなんて教えがあるわけでもないだろ。
I mean, I think some alcohol, I would imagine, as a temple person, I would have to imagine. But yeah, like meat, protein, as long as you don't gore yourself, you know, overtaken with, you know, food and such, it should be fine. Don't forget to hydrate. Getting closer and closer to the summer heat.
何を時代錯誤なことを。これは単に親父殿の趣味だ。
Really? That's just how my father does things. Well, you aren't your father, so take that with a grain of salt.
小坊主に食わす贅沢はない。悔しいのなら己で何とかせよ。などという。
It's chicken!
いっそ今か
What
らで
the
も
f-
先祖になるか。
It's protein! It's a balanced diet. Yo, there's a difference between luxury and the bare basic of necessity. Like, so his dad is one of those kind of religious folk. Okay. Alright. I see. Nadahodo. If I want to complain, I should do something about it, so I actually considered joining the circus one of these. Wait, not circus. Wait, no, circus? Oh, fuck. Dyslexia. Oh, man. Such a pain in the ass.
あのじいさんなら確かに。
Issei's father is the priest of the Ryodan Temple, a larger-than-life figure who is also friends with Fujine's grandfather. The maybe Yakuza guy? Oh. Speaking of which, Yakuza, catch that tomorrow if you haven't been here since the start of the stream. Be there. We will be stealing a lot of money, I imagine. Anyone who gets along with old man Fujimura cannot possibly be normal. A crazy religious guy and a Yakuza member. Oh, man. Yeah, I wonder what those two duo get up together.
それはそれは。じゃあいつか恩返しを期待して一つ。
I pass my bento box to him.
いやいや、ありがたく。これも托発の修行なり。
Issei bows deeply. I honestly question whether I should be reminded that he's the son of a priest at times.
あ、そういえばエミヤ、朝方2丁目の方で騒ぎがあったのを知っているか。ちょうどエミヤと別れるあたりの交差点だが。
交差点？
Could be the same intersection where I saw the police cars this morning.
なんでかな。殺人があったそうだ。
Another one!
詳細は知らないが、一家4人中助かったのは子供だけらしい。両親と姉は刺殺されたというが、その凶器が包丁やナイフではなく、長物だというのが普通じゃない。
Jesus, God. Like, yeah, they're... Obviously, this is magecraft, and now I know that it's with a knife. I now know who this probably is relating to, but... Good lord, man. As long as you don't expose yourself, you can do whatever you want. God damn, man. There's like no Gandalfs, no Dumbledores here. Like, why do the mages gotta be like, stabbity stab? A long weapon. Does it mean a sword or something? If it's a murder, then that's a weapon that killed the parents and the older sister. I can't help but imagine it. Someone sneaks into a house late at night. Unreasonable violence. A horrible nightmare the victim neither imagined nor wished for. Like a traffic accident. The parents are slaughtered. The older sister falls victim without knowing what is happening. And the lone child, hidden in the shadows, is covered in their family's blood. Very descriptive of you to imagine that, but you are one of survival, so you know the horrors that life can be. But you say unreasonable violence? Would it have been better if it was reasonable violence? You know.
いっせ、それ犯人は捕まったのか？
If they did, do you think there would be that many cars in the morning?
捕まってはいないようだな。信徒の方では欠陥工事による事故。こちらでは辻切りめいた殺人事件だ。学校の門限が早まるのも当然。どうしたエミヤ？喉に飯でも詰まったか？
別に。何もないけど、なんだよ、いきなり。
いや、エミヤが厳しい顔をしていたのでな。少し驚いた。すまん。 食事時の話ではなかったな。
Issei apologizes and tries to lighten the mood. I actually don't mind topics like this and didn't realize I was looking so serve. Serve? And then there's a gentle knock on the student council's room's door. Oh yes, speaking of which.
竜道はいるか。ああ、はい。何ですか、先生。
Mr. Kyudo enters and Issei steps over to him, having quite a conversation. It must be a casual student council matter since Issei looked relaxed. Look at that. It's something I don't see every day. Issei is surprisingly shy. He keeps his distance from classmates and even teachers, but for some reason he's warmed up to the student council advisor, Mr. Kuzuki.
真面目なとこで気が合うのかも。
Maybe. But to be fair, you're kind of straight-laced too. But not as severe as either one of those. So Richiyo Kuzuki is our homeroom teacher of Class 2A. He's a very serious kind of weird. Some part of that is probably why he and Issei get along so well. The two continue to talk. As I watch them, I can't stop thinking about that murder. Classes end and it's time to go home. I can't wander around because I have to work today. I shouldn't say anything. I can't do anything at school. I should head home straight to the neighborhood town. But maybe the morning's conversation bothered me and more than I realized. The next thing I know, I'm walking to the Kyudo Club.
もう何やってんだ俺。
Mitsuri said Rin Tosca frequently visits. Well, that, and I hadn't thought of that. But I think it'd be a problem if Shinji got violent against Tosaka.
シンジのやつ、カッとなると止まらないからな。
Shinji lashing out at Tosaka because she rejected him would be bad. Well, I don't know exactly how, but just be bad.
なんだ、遠坂いないじゃないか。
Tosaka's nowhere to be found around the dojo. Mitsuri worried for nothing. I mean, she threw it out there as a suggestion.
へえ、誰がいないって？
Oh, here we go. Here comes fuckboy. Oh, never mind. Yeah, just strict boy.
誰がいないって？
Just straight-laced class rep prez. Issei, who I thought I parted ways with, is standing right next to me.
お前か一世。あんまり驚かすなよな。
いや、エミヤが挙動不審げに道場を眺めていたからつい。で、誰がいないって？
So who are you saying is not here?
誰って遠坂だよ。なんでも昨日シンジと一悶着あったらしいんだ。それで一応様子を見に来ただけだ。
ほうほう、挙動不審だな。聞かれてもいないのに理由まで話すなど。俺は誰がいないかと聞いただけなのだが。
なんだよ、別にいいだろ。俺が
I
何し
mean,
ようが
he
俺の
is
勝
class
手だ。
president. He does have a little bit of a nosy mind to him, but for good reason.
うん、それはしかり。だが無駄だぞエミヤ。遠坂はここにはいない。
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. She stayed home
あい
to
つは今
charge.
日ずる休みだ。
何？
Cut class. She's so so she's
あ
absent.
そうか、欠席か。待て伊勢、なんで遠坂がずる休みなんだよ。あいつがそんなのするわけないだろう。
するとも。あいつが風邪などひくものか。俺が見たところあいつは悪いやつだ。外見に騙されるとパクッと食われるぞエミヤ。
More ways than one. Somehow, what Issei's saying irritates me. Not in this route. I may not know Tosaka that well, but I don't think she's a bad person.
言い過ぎだぞ伊勢。遠坂はそんなやつじゃないだろ
ん？なんだ、エミヤも遠坂狙いなのか。ああ、それはすまない。今のは流してくれ。
A secret crush? Like hell. Again, not in this route.
う。勝手に決めつけるな。俺はただシンジが揉め事を起こしたら大変だから。
シンジが遠坂に殴りかかろうとしたら止めるためか。またそんな役回りをするな。別に俺は気にしないが、割と趣味が悪いのだな、エミヤは。
してないから損じゃない。けど伊勢、お前今変なこと言わなかった？
ん？遠坂狙いは趣味が悪いってことかい？
そう、遠坂は人気あるじゃないか。俺もあいつの悪い
But then
噂は
again,
聞かないぞ。
just because you haven't heard bad rumors at all, may be also a warning sign. Every person, no matter how generous, good they are, have their faults, the cracks within the armor. But it's whether or not they choose to show that is a concern or not. If they show it, that's pretty normal. If they don't show it, there's usually a reason behind it. And that reasoning could be troublesome. So I think that's kind of the idea Issei's trying to get at with. She's too perfect, if you ask him.
ああ、聞かないね。それがまた気に食わない。
Which is fair. Which is fair. As Mayuri said, I despise perfection.
気に食わないってどの辺がだよ。
だから全部だよ。あれはメギツネだ。女性だ。妖怪だ。
A vixen, a minx. Oh, we gotta bring these vocabs back.
悪いことは言わないから。
Vixen and
エミヤ
minx.
も気に
A
入らないようにしろ。
monster. All right, maybe that might be a little bit much, but you know, yeah, I get what he's trying to mean. A monster. Anyway, I instinctually dislike her. My advice to you is to not fall for her. Don't worry, bud. In this route, we won't. If we could, if this was like a Persona game, Fujine. We're going Fujine. Oh, God.
いいっせ。人の陰口は良くないってお前の口癖じゃなかったか？
たわけ。これが陰口に入るか。俺は聞こえるように喋っている。
No wonder I sense people watching us. Well, that's a relief. I'm really glad Tosaka's absent today.
頼む伊勢。悪いが早速陰口にしてくれ。
うん。エミヤがそういうのなら了解した。が、とりわけ中傷していたわけではないぞ。単に竜道一世が遠坂凛を警戒していると言っただけだ。
True.
あくまで個人の趣味嗜好の範囲だろう。
その割には妖怪だとかメギツネだとか言ってたけど。
I mean, pretty apt. I'm pretty sure minx is definitely a derogatory term. Well,
何？褒め言葉だ。メギツネにも妖怪にもいいものはいる。
it's a compliment. They're good vixens and monsters too, you know.
あ
Sure.
くまで遠坂を表現する値として採用しただけである。
In the best way you possibly could.
かつ。
Issei laughs.
それではな。俺は生徒会室に戻るが、エミヤはバイトだろう。こんなところで道草を食っている暇はなかろう。
Issei leaves, calm and composed, Perhaps because he felt satisfied had saying everything he wanted to say. I know him for about 2 years now, and honestly, I still don't get that guy. And vice versa. What the hell is happening? I ride the bus from the school for 20 minutes. I arrive at Shinto, the neighboring town across the bridge.
なんだ、まだ5時前か。
How are you this time, like, oriented? This time management is crazy. I wish I was this clean. There aren't many part-time jobs in this residential area of Miyama, but there are plenty in Shinto since it's a developing area. Yeah, urbanizing. Our school allows students to hold part-time jobs, so I took on simple jobs. I prefer my jobs to be physical, and tougher and shorter they are, the better. I get paid all well training my body, so it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So, if there was a construction job open that would allowed him to do construction, he would have took that within a heartbeat. Although, some constructions would probably go long, but since he's a minor, he should, at least for Japan, I imagine, only have to work 4 hours-ish. Today I work from 5 to 8 o'clock. Yeah, okay. For a simple loading job. So, it looks like that he, as a minor, still has to only work 4 hours. Makes sense. It may just be 3 hours. Oh, wait. 3 hours. Holy crap. Could not do math for a second. God. My brain. It may just be 3 hours of work, but it feels more like 6 hours since they make you work without a minute's rest. I've been there. Which means I need to rest when I have the opportunity to, even if just for 10 minutes. Walking around aimlessly would be a waste of energy, so I decided to rest at a park until time comes. Store it up. This park is nestled between buildings. It's like a giant plaza of trees and shrubbery. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. What? Day 2. Hold on. I'm curious. Oh, what? Cool. Okay. A park should typically be filled with families, couples during weekends and holidays. Well, this one is deserted at this time, right? This is the Forgotten Forest area because it was destroyed in that disastrous Grail War a couple years ago. In fairness, this place is always desolated, no matter the day or time.
相変わらずだな、ここは。
If they're just gonna build stuff here, surely a construction or renovator could, like, uproot these trees and just plant new ones. Surely that could be in the budget for someone to do. But I guess that's more scenery and environmental stuff and not upright profit like, hey, we're going to build companies and small businesses here and, you know, more urbanized, friendly, budget-wise, rather than something that's maybe a little bit more on the social side, I guess. But still. I sigh in exasperation. The area is unkept, and it's really pretty ugly compared to other places that I properly landscaped and maintained. So you landscape and maintain for a living. So they have that around here. They just choose not to leave this up. I guess because, like, as a sign of what was, so you never forget, which you can still have. Maybe like a smaller area, like, you know, a small lot. You can keep some of the bushes and stuff and then have a plaque. This was the incident, blah, 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 years ago, so we never forget. While the rest of the park can still be done and have trees and life again. You know, I don't know. As if the desolate location had set the mood, the wind itself blows cold and harsh. This place is the remnant of the great catastrophe that happened 10 years ago. It's the very place where I was saved from the brink of death.
なんで芝生とか植えないんだろう。いつまでもこのままってのがもったいない。
The area is quite large, so if they leveled it, there'd be plenty of space to work on the park. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, we could fix this easily. I sit down on the bench as I think. With nothing else to do, I stare out over the burned area, passing the time. I don't remember anything that happened here. The only thing I remember is that it was hot, and I couldn't breathe. And that some people died trying to save me. Depressing.
どうしてそうなのかな。
Oh, your papa didn't tell you the whole story. One adult here died because they were trying to save a child from a burning house. Another person was offered all of the available water to extinguish their raw, parched throat, while others in the same situation had died. Someone here tried to flee the fire as fast as they could, but the people left behind died. Oh, so that asshole lived, but other people died. And someone died here because they gave whatever it was that kept them alive to someone they didn't even know. So like a plaque? I don't like thinking about that. Just thinking about people trying to help and become victims for their trouble makes me angry. I mean, you're the one with the hero complex, my guy, so you gotta be careful too. Is it too much to ask for everyone to be saved? For them to get their happy ending afterward? Well, the whole point, I guess, of a happy ending is because most of the time, not a lot of people get that. All I want is to see people peacefully prevail. Why can't that happen?
それは難しい。シロの言っていることは誰も彼も救うということだからね。
That was Kiritsugu's response to the question when a very young me asked it. As a child, I obviously refused to accept that idea. But you saved me, Kiritsugu. I knew you were a magician. So again, he frequents that term back and forth. I'm always compartmentalizing, whatever, keeping it in my head. Yo, what's going on, Ashiki? How you doing, my guy? Or lady? Or whatever. How you doing? We're going to be reading Fate. So I hope you have some snacks and are comfy. But you saved me, Kiritsugu. I know you were a magician, and you could do anything. I knew you were a champion of justice. Well, yeah, and yes and no. I knew you were a champion of justice who wouldn't let anyone suffer, and you do it without asking for a reward. What's up, my guy? That's why I've always believed you managed to save everyone back then. Someone needs to watch Fate Zero. Someone doesn't know his lore. In response to me shouting this at him, Kiritsugu looked more troubled than I'd ever seen him, and said something I remembered to this day.
シロ、誰かを救うということは誰かを助けないということなんだ。いいかい？正義の味方に助けられるのはね、正義の味方が助けた者だけなんだよ。当たり前のことだけど、これが正義の味方の定義なんだ。
Saving one person means you don't save someone else. Listen, being saved by a champion of justice only means you're one of the few they managed to reach. Might be obvious, but that's what a champion of justice is. So basically, it's more of a practical viewpoint. Especially, again, Kiritsugu's own journey of trying to be the self-righteous hero who did have to sacrifice a lot to get to where he was. And in the end, it didn't even matter. But yeah, so I mean, it's a fair thing. You know, Shiro definitely has a hero complex, and I don't, blame people who either have the experience like Kiritsugu or other people saying, listen, man, saving everyone, it's a fantasy. And it's a toxic fantasy if you really think about it. But at the end of the day, is it wrong to want to believe and try to save everyone? Inherently, I would say no. But then again, it's about how you go about it. Sorry to bother you. Is this stream only here or also live on Twitch? Right now, we only stream on YouTube. I've been wrestling the idea to maybe do a simulcast. I have to figure out how that works, if I can do that. But let's just say in the future, we might simulcast on Twitch just to reach a wider audience. So I hope that answers your question. For right now, just YouTube. Yeah, I get that. And now that it's been pointed out, it seems so obvious. Imagine if there was a burglar and some hostages, and the burglar intends to kill the hostages. Under normal circumstances, a majority of hostages would probably die. But if by some miracle all the hostages were saved, there's someone who didn't get saved. The burglar, of course, since saving the hostages was done at the cost of his life. The champion of justice saves are only those whom the champion of justice deems to save. Now that feels a little bit more pragmatic. That feels even maybe to a certain level a very narrow-minded view. Like, they deem them worthy to be saved. I don't know if that is necessarily true, but okay, an interesting point of view there. That's why saving everyone is impossible. Even God can't do that. Whew, don't say that. Don't say that to a certain group of people. They just might get triggered. But there's a lot of suffrage going on.
それが天才ならなおさらだ。誰であろうと全てを助けるなんてできなかった。
The fire 10 years ago was like that. As someone who was miraculously saved from the incident, it wasn't my place to say anything at this point.
けど嫌だ。
I don't want anything like that. I don't like the idea that there's a limitation to whom can be saved. No matter how impossible it may be, I need to reach out and help. I cannot see people around me die like back then. If the person I am now had been there 10 years ago, I would have thrown myself into the fire.
そのまま無駄死にしてたろうな。
Brave,
間違いない。
but bravery and courage doesn't always equal something. But then I would have died, and then I would have died for nothing. That would have happened for sure. Jeez, I can't even fantasize in my head.
しまった。ぼんやりしてたら5時になっちまった。
Speed. You better get over there real quick. A bell in the distance rings, chiming 5 o'clock. I get up from the bench and hurrying to my part-time job. By the time I'm done working, the sun has long since set. It's a little before 8 o'clock. I finished about 10 minutes earlier because I kind of overworked myself. Maybe it's because I stopped by the park before work. That might have been the motivated me to push myself even harder. At the train station, the night is getting started. There are a bunch of people miling about and an endless stream of cars on the road.
節目にお土産はいいか。
I walk along the path as I gaze up at the lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see all the way up at the top. Oh, that might be the tower Rin's on. As I gaze at the building, enjoying the night scenery, I think I see something bizarre. God, I wish my sound alerts work. I keep trying to fix it, but they don't seem to register on the recording. So I'm like, why is it not doing that? So that's something I also have to work on. My sound alerts just won't work.
なんだ今の。
What is that? I stop and try to look at the very top. I squint to try and bring what I see into focus. But it's like staring at grains of rice. Ah. So we actually get a perspective of him seeing her, but her not seeing him, or believing he couldn't see her. It looks like someone I know. I mean, but I can't think why this girl I know would have a reason to be there. It doesn't seem like she's going to do anything up there, but she just is standing there, looking down at the city, as the wind ruffles her hair. She doesn't seem to notice me down below. Actually, there's no way she could see me. They say the exact same thing about each other. Even my near-perfect vision enhanced with Magecraft can barely distinguish what's up there. Literally, bar for what they said. I'm able to tell she's up there because she's isolated, but there is no way she would be able to pick me up out of a crowd on the ground. She's just looking down at the town. It seems like she's looking for something. I can almost feel her sharp gaze, even at a distance. I forget how long it's been, but I continue to look up at the girl standing in the void. She stands at the top of a high tower. She's like a magician looking down at the surface world with bright moon shining bright behind her. Nani? And then she disappears, apparently done with whatever brought her up there. The rooftop stands empty. The scenery returns to nothing more than the beautiful night sky.
今の遠坂だったのかな。
Was that Tosaka up there? I can't be sure, but I'm probably right about who it was, at least. There aren't many girls I know who stand out like her, and besides, I'm not so out of it that I'd fail to notice a girl I secretly admire. So, Issei was right. He had feelings for her, but not in the feelings that, a lot of people would typically have. But again, not this route.
そうか。
Or at least I'm going to do my damnedest to be not this route. It's just ... Tosca sure has a weird way of spending her time. Again, you are one to count. You're one to talk. Unlike Shinto, there is no sign of people anywhere in Miyama. Well, it's a oh my god, not rural, suburb. It's a suburb area. There's no way around after 8 o'clock at night, and the town is silent and still. The house I saw this morning stands across the intersection. There are no signs of life and no trespassing signs hanging over the front door. It's just a single day. The house has fallen quiet, almost like an abandoned building. A girl and her parents were killed by a burglar. I wonder what life awaits now for that single child who's had survived. I bite my lip, frustrated by the powerlessness. I promised I'd be just like Kiritsugu, but I couldn't do anything, even when something like this happened so close to home. Well, do you want to be aware of everything that happens at once? Like you're like a Cerebro from X-Men? Like you want to hijack everyone's like memories and minds? Like that's where you get into the more sociopathical kind of for the good of everyone, you know, kind of mindset. It's like some anti-spiral shit from Gurren Lagann. I want to help people, but I don't even know what I can do. I reach the top of the hill where my house sits. The lights are on, so Fujine or Sakura are still inside.
Tadaima. あれ、藤姉だけか。
おかえりしろ。
Again, disservice, but still love you. Fujine turns towards me, munching on a rice cracker. The TV is tuned to a lively variety show.
もうまたこんな時間に帰ってきて。冬は日が暮れるのが早いんだから、もっと早くに帰ってきなさいって言ったでしょ。
だから早く帰ってきてるだろ。8時までのバイトを選んでるんだから、これ以上無茶言わないでくれ。で、さくらはどうしたんだよ。なんか晩飯の支度だけはできてるみたいだけど。
さくらちゃんなら早めに帰ったわよ。今日は用事があるからって晩ご飯だけ作ってくれたの。
Fujine cheerfully replies. As far as she's concerned, anyone who makes her food is a good person.
そっか。確かにしばらくはその方がいいかもしれないな。最近は物騒だし、いっそ新学期まで晩飯は俺が作ろうか。
反対。シロ帰ってくるの遅いじゃない。それからご飯作ってたら食べるの10時過ぎになっちゃ
Oh,
う
you,
よ。
Fujine. Oh, you silly thing.
あのね、そこに自分家で食べるという選択肢はないのか。
This is her home in a roundabout way.
だからここが私の家だよ。
Best girl for a reason. Fujine tilts her head, puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if a response like that should make me happy or sad. Happy, of course, my dude.
わかったよ。藤姉に飯を作れなんて無理難題を言ってもしょうがねえ。
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things. She's not going to be a cook.
それはいいけど、足元のそれなんだよ。また余計なものを持ってきたんじゃないだろうな。
Fujine has a tendency to leave a bunch of junk here. She'll bring stuff like bowls from restaurants that are too big to be functional, an unnecessarily heavy earthen teapot, or a weird guitar that plays itself. She must think this place is a convenient storage or something. Well, there's a storage house out back, but you have taken that up.
ちょっと見せてみろ。ゴミだったら捨てるから。
うちで余ったポスターだけど。
A poster. Fujine hands me the poster. It's probably a poster of some no-name singer.
どれどれ
I knew it. It's a poster of a young man wearing a military uniform, smiling with his thumbs up, all in front of a cheap-looking blue sky background. I'm sure someone worked hard on that. The caption of the poster says, in bloody font, "Love's lovely Rangerland." I don't know what that means. If that means something to anyone, please type away in the chat, because I have no idea what that means. Come to the self-defense meetup. Hey, this is a recruitment poster for a youth group. That sounds very shady, especially in Japan.
それいらないからあげるね。
俺だっていらねえよこんなの
I quickly roll the poster back up and try to watch Fujine on the head with it.
へへん、外れ。
However, Fujine counters mercilessly with another poster she's been holding. Knock. Her poster sword bonks me lightly. Damn, that's her lightly. Just pass the fuck out, seeing stars. Girl's got strength, but I like that. Stars. I see stars. Hydrate.
シローの腕で私に当てようなんて甘いわよ。悔しかったらもうちょっと腕を磨きなさいね。
そんな問題じゃないだろう今のなぜに紙のポスターがかような破壊
Who said it was paper? Did she manage some sort of technique only a true poster master can execute?
ごめんごめん。こっちのポスター初回特典版なんで豪華鉄板仕様だった。
Fancy plate steel. Wow. So it's basically a steel sheath.
シロー、頭大丈夫？
No.
藤根いつか絶対に人を殺すぞその性格
えへへ。その時はシローがお嫁にもらってくれるから安心かな。
Again, if this was only a Persona-based game, definitely. Unfortunately, though we have some questionable stuff in this series, the option of getting with the teacher is apparently too out of left field for Fate. Really can tell you're deep into the story. Is Fate Stay Night your first Fate series game? So, I have played FGO, which I don't know if that means much to you, but it is a very rich and deep story, but I've only ever played that after I finished all the anime. After that, I played... Oh my god, what the fuck is it called? Hold on. Give me a second. It's like Fate Extella, I think it's called. The one with Nero and the Kitsune girl. Waifu. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. Do a quick Google search. I think it's Extella. Fate. Is it Extra? Maybe it's Extra. Okay, it's Fate Extra. That's what I've played. Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I played Fate Extra on the Switch. It was fun. I don't know if I finished it. Maybe we'll play it on stream. That might be an option one of these days. Like, after I finish... The plan, I think, after I finish this route in Fate... it might be to, like, go into a different game. I'm thinking, like, Mondays might be, like, a long game series. And then hopefully Tuesdays will be our more shorter based series like Yakuza, which I hear overall Yakuza is shorter. So I'm excited to play that. But yeah, I played this. I played FGO. I've gone through, mainly the anime adaptations, and obviously the movie adaptations. So those are my Fate knowledge. I also am playing FGO Extra Series before. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's my experience. I know there was a new Fate game that came out last year. Fate game. Gamu. Yeah. This was I think it's like based in like feudal Japan. Yeah. I know a lot of people actually really liked it. So again, maybe in the future we will do this game on stream. But I have other game plans. I have other plans before I get into more Fate after this. So, it's not upfront, but it is a possibility. What is this? Fate Samurai Remnant. That's what it's called. Okay. So yeah, we can put that on the list. We can put these games on the list. I have no issue putting them on the list. Fate Samurai Extra. Oh, FSR. Cool. But yeah, so this is technically speaking not my first not my first game. There we go. Yeah, so not my first game, but I'm enjoying it. It's I will say, if you come into the visual novel with some knowledge of Fate, I at least am finding it more interesting than I feel like if I was a first time anything with Fate going into this and then trying to piece things together. I can have a lot more fun that way. That's just my enjoyment so far from what I'm seeing from this. But I could be wrong. I'm sure there's some more hardcore people that are like, you should do this first and then get into the anime adaptations. To each their own. Anyway, so let's get back to Fujine saying we should marry her. I only wish, babe. I only wish. Yeah, not a chance. I'm not marrying a natural-born killer. Whoa! If you can't get into a relationship that you know she could kill you or they kill you, then that's not a relationship. That's rule number 1.
私そんな物騒なのじゃないと思う。
That violent.
やっぱり得てしてそういう連中は自覚がないっていうのは本当だったのか。
You would be that unaware of your actions. I pray that I survive. I'll have to be very careful from now on if I'm going to have any hopes of avoiding being murdered.
ふんだ、言ってなさい。そんなことよりしろ、私お腹減った。今まで待ってたんだから早くご飯の用意しよう。
She complains about being hungry, but she'll wait for those that she cares about. Fujine gets up. What's up with Fujine? She must be really hungry if she's offering to help, even if it's just help setting the table.
はいはい。じゃあ藤姉は皿と茶碗な。ご飯ぐらい告げるだろ。
告げるよ。ねえシロ、私丼でいいかな。
いいんじゃないか。今日はさくらもいないし、どうせ飯は余るし。
よしよし。それじゃ、シロもお揃いね。
Fujine scoops mounds of rice into 2 large bowls. Let's go. Whatever, I was going to go for a second helping anyway, so if I meddled in what Fujine does now, we may really not have any dinner. Besides, this is the kind of chaotic scene dinner at my home has been for years. That's the best kind of scene, though. Another day ends. We finish our rally dinner, and after I see off Fujine, I take a bath. After that, I head to the shed for my daily training. I complete it as usual and then go to sleep. Oh, we're just busting through this. I guess there's no point yet to being that repetitive. It's 1 o'clock in the morning? Wait, what day is this? Hold on, can I see what day it is? Does it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me. Damn. I was about to say, if this is like a Tuesday, Wednesday, if it's a school night, you're going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning? I mean, I had DGen hours when I was a kid where I was like, hey, you know what? It's like 12 o'clock in the morning. We're still playing Pokemon. Sure. But you got to get to sleep because you got to walk a long distance to get to school. I would not be up 1 o'clock in the morning if I knew also I got to feed people in the morning, not just myself, feed people, and I got to walk a long distance to school. No. And he has morning training, too. Oh, only an anime character can do that. Today's ends peaceful without incident. Save the game. Oh, checkpoint. Yep. All right. All right, what time is it? 8 o'clock? All right, we'll go for one more hour. Oh, yeah, good crack. I'm in a fire. Houses crumble and people burn. No matter where I go, all I see is crimson. This is what I saw 10 years ago. Okay, thanks. Really happy to know that right now, still have people enjoy the OG visual novel. Yeah, I mean, this is my first visual novel as a whole. Not just with Fate. It's fine. It's fine so far. And technically, because I have people helping me, get this stuff, informated to me before I was playing this. This is technically the remastered Switch stuff. It's not the actual visual novel that apparently is free. I didn't know that, so someone literally before, or I guess technically after I did my first stream, literally sent me an entire PDF. It's just the entire visual novel. And I think, oh my god, what's the other series that the creator of Fate did before Fate? Tsushima, like the one with the vampire blonde girl who's also a cat in memes, like that one, whatever it is. Like they sent me like an actual PDF file that has the entire storyline for both. So if I wanted to, I could have just did it for free. I didn't know that, but hey, whatever. I like it because I have sounds, I have voice acting, so it would have literally just been me the entire time reading a PDF file with like the pictures as screenshots and stuff. So I still prefer this. Tsushima? I think that is how you say that. If I'm mispronouncing that, my bad. Yeah, they send me like a PDF file that's like the entire story of both of those for free. I'm like, oh, huh. I guess I didn't have to buy this game. So, live and learn, but I still like it because again, it's more ambiance. It's more interesting this way. Also, we had an opening scene in here. You don't get that on a PDF file. But yeah, so far it's good. It's good. It's a visual novel. There's not really much outside of that. There is like the decision tree that I didn't know going into this. So I'm just trying to make sure I stay on the Fate route as best I can. But outside of that, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing too complicated about the mechanics. And as the story goes, again, I've already said, I've gone through Fate. I've gone through Unlimited Blade Work. I've gone from, Heaven's Field. And I have extra material as well. So it's not like I'm unaware of the storylines. So, yeah. It's just kind of par for the course right now. At the end of it, once I'm done the Fate route, which is what I'm trying to stick to, I will give my honest opinion, like, hey, now that I've seen all 3 of the main routes, Unlimited Blade Work, Heaven's Field, and the Fate route, what route do I really prefer? Because I know a lot of people will defend Unlimited Blade Work because it's Rin's arc. And a lot of people obviously really like Rin. And then I hear people defend the Unlimited Blade Work route, not just because of Sakura, but because, yeah, they're movies. They are a gorgeous depiction of Fate. You don't really hear a lot of people talk about the first route, the Fate route with Saber, who should be the main focus. So I am kind of curious if maybe I might come out of this and be the unlikely of all of them and say, hey, the Fate route is actually pretty good. It's different, as it should be, but it's actually pretty good. Like, the characters are at their best in this arc. It has an interesting story arc for the characters to go through. It's not just the same rinse and repeat, like, oh, we're gonna go to Emilia's house and fight Berserker. Archer's not gonna do the whole the bone of my blade, and we have the entire goddamn sword arena. Sakura isn't doing some weird glitch shit. Like, who knows? But it will be a journey. And, I might also just be at the same mindset like everyone else is. It's fine, but it's probably the forgettable of the 3. So, you agree? Oh, see? Right there. Got a person right there. I'm glad you agree with me. But yeah, so that's where I am with the visual novel. To answer your question, it's good. It's nothing that's exceeding expectation, but it's nothing below expectation. So, happy middle area. Alright. This is what I saw 10 years ago. It's a long forgotten memory of the past. I run through the scenario recreating what had happened. I know it's a nightmare, but there's no way to escape. And I ran. I run and run. I keep running. Every time this scene ends with me as a child, running out of energy and getting rescued. Oh god, flashbang. Oh. I wake up feeling wrong. That's an interesting way of describing that. I wake up feeling wrong. A hand to my forehead tells me I am sweating, even though it's winter. The clock reads past 6. I heard the soft sound of chopping from the kitchen. Not really the time to be impressed by what an early riser she is. I need to hurry up and get ready, so I can help her with breakfast.
Shiro, 今日どうするのよ? 土曜日だから午後はアルバイト?
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You can stay up till 1 o'clock because it's a Friday night. Fair enough. I was about to say, like, man, dude, 1 o'clock during a school night? Oh, dude, I'm getting old. Fuck. But I'm just thinking, like, yeah, 1 o'clock with your rituals that you have to do? No way. No way. I don't think I could do that, even as a kid. It was just playing games, no big deal. And if I had, like, school bus, a ride to get to school, again, no big deal. You gotta walk and do all that shit, and you want to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning? Oh, man. You're built different, Shiro. So, let me see. Shiro, what are you going to do today? It's Saturday, so do you have work in the afternoon?
いや、バイトは入ってないよ。一世のところで何かやってると思うけど、それがどうかしたか？
別に暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなーって。私今月ピンチなのだ。
ピンチって何がさ？
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当作ってくれると嬉しいんだけどな。
Oh, that's too real.
断る。
Oh no.
自業自得だ。たまには一食ぐらい抜いた方がいい。
Damn.
で、シロには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだから。
Damn, she's trying to gaslight
さ
him.
くらちゃん。
She's like, I knew you wouldn't be a helpful motherfucker.
はい。私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先生。オッケーオッケー。じゃあ今日は一緒にお昼を食べましょう。
Breakfast goes smoothly. Today's menu includes the typical sides, and the main dish is brassed lotus, root, kanakia, and chicken. Sakura probably didn't need to make such an elaborate dish for breakfast, but I'm guessing she made an extra pack for lunch. Sakura's a member of the Kyudo Club and Fujine is the club's faculty advisor. Nobody would think it was weird for the two of them to have the same lunch.
そういえばシロ、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
He was up till 1, that's what happened. Fujine looks my way as she sips her miso soup. As much as she's just the kind of out there most of the time, she's pretty sharp and about that some kind of
昔の夢を見た。
God, tongue twister.
寝覚めがすっげえ悪かった。
She's your legal guardian. She has to be.
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
It's not an interesting topic for Fujine, so she shifts the conversation into another direction. That doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, you may think that, but she's keeping that in the back of her mind. She will remember that for later. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares a lot. Back when I couldn't shake the memory of that fire. But as time went on, those nightmares grew less and less frequent. I've gotten to the point where the dreams don't bother me anymore. I've been told my nightmares were pretty bad back then. Though, Fujine was already with us by then. She's been sensitive about changes in me since.
シロ、食欲はある？今朝に限ってないとかない？
ない。なんともないんだから、人の夢にかこつけて飯を横取りするな。
You caught that, huh?
シロが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。もうちょっと可憐になってくれた方がいいぞ、弟分としては。
We both huff and turn our heads away from each other. Seeing that as a sign that I'm fine, Fujine smiles in relief. Honestly, I appreciate her consideration. Everyone needs a person like that in their lives. But I know she'll get an ego about it if I say it directly, so I pretend to grunt in protest instead. That's actually, to be fair, that's pretty sibling energy right there. That's sibling core to a max. Sakura looks puzzled by our interaction, right? Because you have no healthy sibling day-to-day interactions. Soon after Fujine leaves, I lock up and Sakura and I leave as well.
先輩、今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけどよろしいですか？
ん？別にいいよ。だって土日だろ？さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから、気
Sure.
にすることないぞ。
そんな違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事でちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。
Okay. Don't have a Hinata mode.
別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
Sakura's acting suspicious, or rather, she seems nervous. She's sus. I don't know why, but it's probably just that she can't come over the weekend.
分かった。
Like
なん
she
かあった
just
ら
said.
道場に行くよ。
そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Sakura sighs in relief. But the moment Sakura lowers her gaze, her expression stiffens.
先輩って
Sakura staring at my left hand. I look down and see blood trickling from it. I pulled up my shirt sleeve. Yep, blood.
なんだこれ。昨日の夜ガラクタ
Although again, I will say I've had those moments where I have no idea how, but the next morning I wake up, oh, there's a cut on me. Huh, how did that happen? But I don't feel any pain. It looks like there's a welt on my hand. The bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. It looks like a snake that's trying to reach my palm from the top of my shoulder. Oh, maybe he was inadvertently activating like his magic circuits.
ま、痛みもないし、すぐに引くだろう。大丈夫。気にするほどじゃない。
はい。先輩がそう言うのでしたら気にしません。
The sight of blood probably made Sakura sick, since keeping her head down. Sakura heads to the club while I head to school of the building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic club members training. This morning is practically brimming with enthusiastic energy. So what's going to go wrong? But something feels strange. You know, who would have thought? Oh, fuck. Auto. Hold on. Auto. My big-ass fingers keep pressing the auto button. Everything in the school is as usual. The students exercising for morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless. Me too. Yeah, see? It happens.
気のせいか、これ。
Oh god, we're in the negative dimension. When I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. I know, everyone's purple. The building walls feel stained. Like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves seem like empty dolls. I wonder if that's like, because of his training, he's gaining a better perception that there is a charm enacted over the school. Or a curse, I'm sorry, that's what they call it.
疲れてるのかな、おい。
Nah, that's your instincts. I shake my head, clearing it, and head onto campus. School ends early on Saturday. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is because I think I did hear something about this. They changed Japanese school policies because this, I think, also came out during Persona 3 or 4. I haven't played them, but someone told me that Persona 3 and 4 was back then when you had to go to school on Saturdays. I don't think most schools in Japan go to school on Saturdays anymore, from what I'm aware of. So this is back then when you had to go to school on Saturdays. Nope, I would hate that. I think that might be the worst thing about going to school in Japan. Saturdays. Nope. I think I would skip. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set.
さて、そろそろ帰るか。
I packed my bag and leave the classroom. I have enough left in here. Hydrate. Damn, I'm out. No hydration. But then,
なんだ、まだ学校にいたん
oh,
だ。
here's Fuckboy. We can't have a nice day without being ruined by something, huh? I run into Shinji. There are a few girls behind him making a small commotion.
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたの？ああ、そうか。また生徒会にごますってたわけね。いいね、エミヤは。部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ。
It's better than being a fucking asshole, but hey, you know.
生徒会の手伝いじゃないぞ。学校の備品を直すのは生徒として当たり前だろ。
Yeah, you know, I'm being a good
使ってるのは俺
Samaritan,
たちなんだから。
a decent human being with a skill set, unlike you.
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせれば
お
なんだって当たり前だからね。そういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ？
No, but that's okay. The feeling is mutual.
すまん。よく覚えていない。それ、シンジの口癖だと思っていたから、どうも聞き流してたみたいだ。
そうか。それじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだ、エミヤは。
何でも直すなんて無理だ。せいぜい面倒見るぐらいだが。
There you go.
よし。なら頼まれてくれよ。うちの弓道場さ、今割と散らかってるんだよね。弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし、安土の掃除もできてない。暇ならさ、そっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな。元弓道部員だろ。生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないで、たまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ。
Well, if you ask nicely about it, and you're not gonna be a pretentious douche, sure.
ちょっと先輩、それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった？そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。でもさ、今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃん。そこの人がやってくれるんならそれでいいんじゃないの？
His groupies.
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。そうでもないんじゃない？あの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ。任せちゃえばいいのよ。
The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be Kyudo members, but since I didn't recognize any of them, they must be members of Shinji's recruited recently, aka groupie.
じゃあ、あとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから、勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよね、エミヤ。
なあ、構わないよ。どうせ暇だったから、たまにはこういうのも悪くない。
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
Hey, he may be the clown, but you're the entire circus, my guy.
あ、待ってよ先輩。じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
Whew, my god, this Shinji is intolerable. I clean the Kyudo dojo without any problems, since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it took a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning a place I used to spend so much time until last year and a half ago. Midway through, I considered trying to shoot a bow, but decided not to. It would be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring in my own bow and visit. Oh, you still have yours. I look at the time, and it was way past curfew. It's a little after 7. The school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Now that I look closely, I don't remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow rest and the club room. It shows you that they've been slacking without you.
ここまで来たら1時間も2時間も変わらないか。
I guess there's another hour or two wouldn't make much of a difference, but workaholic. I've already started, so I might as well clean every nook and cranny. But we all know the real reason why he's got to stay. We all know the real reason. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold my cheeks are starting to sting. Fuyuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly the expectation. I thought they said the opposite in the beginning. My breath fogs the air with every exhale.
なんだ。暗いと思ったら月が隠れてるのか。
I look up and there's no light in the sky. The strong wind sends the clouds spinning around the night sky. Curfew is long past, and there's no sign of life in the empty school. Not so much as a sound can be heard on campus. It seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. Oh, that's right. I also do remember, yeah, during Rin's engagement with Lancer, they did bring up the fact that when the two servants crossed each other, the air did get colder. So that could also be why. Wow, so it's like the entire periphery. I think I heard something. I heard something. It's coming from the schoolyard. That night under the frosty sky, I guess I just got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence. So I headed towards the sound to investigate. I go to the schoolyard. It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so damn dark. I need to get closer if I want to find out more. I know that sound. It's clashing of metal. It sounds like a fight. Gangsters? And then, it was probably a gut instinct that the sense the danger, or maybe keeping out of sight as I approached, was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind a tree big enough to conceal me and took a closer look at the source of the sound. Yes. Yes. There, my mind froze. I cannot comprehend what I am seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. The two of them are clad in armor, so ancient it's several steps behind old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid and deadly movements make clear that their fight is no joke. I don't know if I would describe the outfits ancient. They're definitely stylish, but ancient? I don't know about that. Oh my flashbang. God, this game. It's like every time they just drop a grenade in front of me. I do not understand. I can't even follow their movements. They are just too fast. Their movements look so surreal. My mind cannot function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. But there's one thing I am sure about. They're not human. They have to be something else, in guise of human. The magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone can see that these two aren't human. To start, humans just cannot move like that. Yeah, these guys are like going ballistic. Nobody should get involved with whatever this is. I mean, humans do a lot of idiotic stuff. I can feel their intent to kill, even from a distance. I am going to die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in that I just won't live if I stay here. My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. No knife or blade would be a match for whatever they are wielding. They are clearly meant to only kill. In this instance, I suddenly remembered yesterday's murderers. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. I shouldn't stay and watch another second. But I can't move a muscle. I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee. But something else tells me they will find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict, though, I am simply paralyzed. I'm more than 40 meters away from them, but still I imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear. I cannot breathe. The sounds stop. The two figures separate and stand facing each other. Just as I'm starting to feel a sense of relief, the fighting's over, another strong sense of malice creeps over me. My heart feels like it shivered up my chest. The numbness in my body turns convulsion. I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself.
嘘だ。なんだあいつ。
Who the hell is that guy? A nauseatingly high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Kiritsugu once demonstrated to me how to draw magical energy from one's surrounding. It was kind of magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way that the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively, the man in blue appears to be binge eating. The sight is so extreme that anyone with magical energy would find it repulsive. So, kind of like in Overlord, when Ainz like has to flex his aura, people like literally throw up that can sense like magical energy levels. They're like, "Oh my god, we are boned." Unlike him, who is bone. He's going to die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magical energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He is going to die. That inhuman, something in guise of a man is going to die. But can I just let this happen? That question shakes me out of paralyze. My body is suddenly free, and I take a deep breath.
誰だ？
Found you. The man in blue glares in my direction. The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I'm his new target. You better book it. My legs moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realize it's time to flee for my life. And suddenly all my energy is being poured into doing exactly that. I am speed. I do not remember where I ran or how I got there, but I'm in the school building.
何をバカな
Yeah, that wasn't really smart, but, you know. I regret my own actions as I huff and puff. I should have run towards town. I've got to go to the world's... I gotta be the world's biggest idiot thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. Yeah. A school of all places. There must have been other, better places to hide. And what the hell convinced me I'd die if I didn't run to begin with? Too late now. My chest burns from all the running. I turn around, but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet barely move another step. I gulp down, lungs full of air, trying to slow my heart down, and I breathe a sigh of relief. I survived. Bro, until you're home, you can't say you survived.
何だったんだ今の
I try to recall what I just saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure, I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that look human fighting in a schoolyard at night. Else out of the corner of my eye.
もう一人誰かいた気がするけど
I can't remember what they looked like though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat.
けどこれでともかく
But finally,
追いかけっこは終わりだろ
the voice comes right from in front of me.
いや割と遠くまで走ったなお前
I can't breathe. My mind goes blank and I cannot think. But I know that I'm going to die.
逃げられないってのはお前自身が誰よりも分かってたんだろ何やられる側ってのは得てしてそういうもんだ別に恥じることじゃない
I'm gonna get fucked up. And with that, he raises his spear.
運が悪かったな坊主ま見られたからには死んでくれや
Sorry, just read the text. All right. Sarkis got unlucky. Blah, 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 blah. And Skadunk got skeered. No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. Hold on a second. All right, sorry for that. No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. Shot through the heart. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was going to die. I knew the spear was going to impale me, but I just couldn't move. The world distorts around me. My body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me. I cough up blood once more. I felt like there should have been more, but it was just one cough. The spear must have been special. The blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops. One swift thrust is all it takes. All from a single strike of that spear. Jesus, flashbangs, please. I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I'm like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I stopped feeling pain long ago. So poetic. The world has turned white. I'm the lone dark spot. So rather than being aware of that, I died. It just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. Again, very poetic. Oh God, these white lights. Ugh. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what dying feels like. You're not a pirate. Shut your mouth, goddamn spear user. My eyes can't focus. Yeah, I made you do. I can only hear his voice. He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the hallway. You have no idea. You got no idea, bud. And the voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stopped. There's an awkward silence. Then footsteps again. I can't hear that well anymore. God, the light. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I don't know who's talking. I muster up all my concentration as my mind begins to fade, and I still can't put my finger on it. All I hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. I heard a loud, whistling sound coming from my mouth, like a passing typhoon. I sense somebody piercing into my face. My breathing must be loud. As the person reaches their fingers out to try and close my mouth, whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear the sound, the person touches me without hesitation. Oh yeah, the clock tower thing. Yeah. The voice sounds distressed. At the moment, my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensations return to my body. Slowly, by little, my bodily functions return. Like dew drops trickling down the leaf. Drip, drip. That's just... Don't clip that out of context, please. Oh, God. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating intensely, focusing on their hands and are pressured against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot, my corpse jolts and my cold, stagnated blood starts to flow. I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
Clank. I hear something fall.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
That was it. The person mocks themselves and leaves. And my heart resumes beating, and then I finally pass out. But it's nothing the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber, bound to wake again. Please, stop flashing! Oh my... Bro, you're doing this on purpose, game. I wake up suddenly. I feel sick. My entire body aches. Every time my heart beats, a sharp pain stabs my head. What happened? My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for far too long. The only thing I can figure out is the chest area of my uniform is torn. My blood stains the hallway. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I've been lying looks like a murder scene. Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head into a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull out the rag and bucket. Yo, that's a shit for someone to do. I get stabbed, I live again, clean up my blood. I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable, then it murdered me, but here I am, still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? Exactly. Damn, it's not coming out. I wipe the floor with a rag I found. I managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body, then gather up everything scattered around on the floor and shove it into my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. I must be doing such a stupid stuff because my head's all hazy. I put the rag and bucket away, staggering out of the school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire. Somehow crosses the bridge, or I don't think they crosses the bridge to get to school. Either way, walks all the way home after all that. Healed, but still. By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura, even Fujine, left long ago. I collapse on the floor. Lying on the floor is what lets me finally calm down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw in air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart's cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding my chest opens the wound. Again, yes. That's also not true. I wasn't almost killed. I was killed. But someone saved me. And now I am alive. If there were in the area, it means they could have been involved with the people fighting. But still, it doesn't change the fact that they saved me. So, I need to thank them properly one day. Well, in the other route, you definitely thankfully proper, that's for sure. Or properly thank her. Words. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up to hold the nausea at bay. I place my hand on my bare chest with the uniform torn. I might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. Again, reiterating. That feeling, the agony of the spear tip piercing my chest, isn't something I can easily forget.
しばらく夢に見るぞこれ。
That's to say the least. But when I close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. I try to shake the delusion off, and I make every effort to regain my composure. So many flashbangs. Good, I'm calming down.
落ち着いてきた。
Though thoughts clear as I take a slow and deep breath, the fever and nausea abate a bit.
それであれのことだけど。
The man in blue and the man in red, they look like human, but I know they're not. They could have been ghosts of some kind, but I never heard of the ghost having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little harder to believe it was a ghost. If it had a will of its own, from what I've heard, the only spirits that possess physical bodies are elemental type. And I thought elementals don't look human.
いや、問題はそんなじゃなくて。
There's more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other. And there were a robbery and a murder at a house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing Fuyuki lately. With all this in mind, the only conclusion I come to in this situation is out of control.
親父が生きてれば。
I guess that was the kind of whiny or the kind of whinny, but I'll put it down to the patched up chest wound.
わからなくても自分にできることをやるって決めてるじゃないか。
I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. The bell on the roof of the house rings. No matter what anyone says, the house is still a mage's house. A bounded field is set around it, and if there's ever an intruder in this area, an alarm rings.
泥棒か。
Oh, here we go. I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course, it's not a burglar. Given the timing right now with the weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's not a burglar. It's not an assassin. They're here to take my life, not property. Because that man said so himself. And because you're alive, yep. The house is dead silent. The same murderous intent I feel at the school creeps closer through the hushed darkness. I gulp. A chill prickles like needles along my spine. It's no illusion. It's not my imagination. I know in this moment, I leave this room, I will be stabbed again. Just dodge roll. Dodge roll. I desperately try to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just repeat what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm not going to get impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as the thought crosses my mind. I'm mad. That's a start. I'm mad at myself for being afraid, and I'm mad that I've put myself in a situation where I am so easily to lose my life after it was saved earlier the same day. I grit my teeth and hold my hand tight over the wound chest to restrain myself. I need to get used to this. This is the second time that I'm about to die. That alone motivates me not to die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? And if I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for?
やってやろうじゃないか。
I'm not going to agonize over complicated things anymore. Right now, I just need to drive away who's ever here.
まずは武器をどうにかしないと。
I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is to reinforce something that might work as a weapon. You need a weapon to fight after all. There's plenty of things that might work as a weapon in the storehouse, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave this living room and get ambushed, I'm just going to expose myself. It'll be the repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've got to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would all but be useless. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. Oh, the poster! Oh yeah, the poster. Yeah. Something around here might be a suitable weapon.
藤姉が置いてったポスターしかねえ。
Yep. I can't help but feel utterly dejected, but the desperation makes me all the more determined. The situation's so bad, it really can't get any worse. Until it does. Then all that's left for me to do is move forward until I have no energy. Trace on. I speak my incantation, and I eject magical energy into the rolled up 60-centimeter poster. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster, solidified it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against the spear. Composition, analyze. Oh, there we go. I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster, as if I am staining its fibers with my own blood.
構成材質補強。
I feel that I've hit the end. Right before magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say,
トレースオフ。
I cut off my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is hard as steel. Well, I already had steel plates before, but now for sure. But its weight remains the same as before. It's turned out great for hastily improved sword. How long has it been since my strength magecraft succeeded? My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kiritsugu died, so for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic.
これで
Either way, now I can... Oh, sorry. I may be able to defend myself. At least I have some discipline in swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead, but I think I can make it outside of the mansion either. So I just need to head to the shed and make a strong weapon there. Just as I start trying to hype myself up, every hair on my body stands on end. Yeah, gotcha, bitch. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling straight towards me. A silvery flash strikes my head from above. I can only assume he came in through the ceiling as he descends on me, meaning to skewer my head. I rolled forward in a frantic dodge. The man leans with an inhuman grace as I clumsily roll out of the way. I stop myself quickly to get to my feet. Makeshift sword at the ready. Alright. So, we're going to get into some good stuff. I'm probably going to call it here. I know, cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. But I'm going to call it here. I said about 3 hours. We got 3 hours. I know. I'm sure someone was really excited to see Saiba, but next time. All right. We saved? Yeah. Thank you. All right. All right. Whoop. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, my lighting. I gotta fix my lighting. Hold on. Now I know. Don't use this setting. This setting sucks. That's not bad. All right. Well, good stream today. Good stream. Thank you for everyone that showed up. I hope everyone will have a great night. We're going to do more games tomorrow. Yakuza. Thursday, again, JoJo's. Back again with more One Piece. And then next week as well, more One Piece. So we will not be getting to Bug Ego for a while. But I think probably after next week, it will go on a break again. So we'll get to more Bug Ego then. We will continue again with more gaming stuff. I will try to get the schedule up and running. I'm still waiting for an artist to do something for me. So, all in good time. And we will try to get a 4th day to stream as well. Again, all work in progress. I appreciate everyone's patience. But, yeah. Good times. Good times. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again tomorrow for our true first real gaming experience with Yakuza. Again, for those who weren't aware, I tried with Bleach. It's a no-go. I've thrown in the towel. The buggy game wins. It wins. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, ugh. But Yakuza will be fun. I'm sure it will be. But yeah. Hope everyone has a good day, a good night, wherever you may be, and I will see you tomorrow or whenever on the next stream. Peace. All right. Now, oh God, gotta get better at these controls. All right, everyone. See you later.